Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins in Kabul, Afghanistan. American soldiers, led by Sergeant Benjamin Myers, load their pistols with bullets. They're on a mission to find the leader of a terrorist cell group. They locate the terrorist's hideout. Myers defeats a terrorist with his martial arts skills. Following Karp's orders, they move to another terrorist hideout and eliminate all the terrorists. Afterward, Myers and his team enter Karp's room, where they find some women. They ask them about Jamal al-Adin, but no one provides any information. Frustrated, Myers takes drastic action. One woman is forced to stand, and she realizes a bomb is strapped to her body. Myers holds the bomb's remote and rushes the woman outside. Now, he faces a difficult choice. He threatens to detonate the bomb, unless they reveal Jamal al-Adin's whereabouts. The woman finally looks to her left, and removes the bomb's pin, leading to a massive explosion. Myers and the other soldier are shocked by the unexpected turn of events. 2 years later, former New Orleans soldier, Jack Robideau arrives in his car with his pet rabbit in Columbus, New Mexico. Captain Ramona Garcia introduces Jack to all the cops, because he is joining them in the homicide division of the New Orleans Police Department. Later, Captain Ramona discusses a troubling issue. There are new smugglers and dealers in the area, and they suspect these criminals are highly trained ex-military personnel, including Navy SEALs, Rangers, and Delta Force. They're led by an unknown figure. These mercenaries are well organized and well funded, and they're working for drug lords just across the border. The common link among them is their past service with an enigmatic leader. If this situation escalates, it could lead to a full-blown conflict on American soil. After the briefing, Captain Ramona welcomes Jack to the team, but warns him the rules are different here, and he needs to adapt quickly. She emphasizes the border patrol in this region is not like New Orleans, and there are only 2 reasons to be in it: upholding the law, or dealing harshly with illegal immigrants. Columbus is a tough and violent place, so Jack needs to avoid trouble with the locals. Jack visits Connie's bar, and people stare at him. Lexi, the bartender, approaches him for his order, and is impressed by Jack's words, which makes Jed, another patron, jealous. Jed confronts Jack, and Jack regrets his words, kicking Jed, who falls to the ground. In retaliation, Jed's friends attack Jack, who defeats them and leaves with his pet rabbit. At night, Jack returns to his room, and goes to sleep. The next day, Ramona confronts him, expressing anger over the bar fight. She warns him that if he gets into more local altercations, she will send him away and make Jack her new partner. Enter Agent Billy Pawnell. Jack apologizes to Ramona, and she departs. Agent Billy shows a liking for Jack, and together, they drive to Billy's house at night. There, Jack meets Billy's wife, before returning to his hotel room. During the night, Jack awakens from haunting dreams of his past, and starts conversing with his pet rabbit. The next day, as Jack examines maps and documents related to a smuggler, Billy takes him to the border. They encounter a firefight between smugglers and the police. Jack intervenes to protect Billy, leading them to chase the dealers in their car. Spotting the escape attempt, Jack rams their vehicle, and captures one of the dealers, but the dealer has a bomb strapped to him. Jack urgently instructs Billy to call for a bomb squad. The bomb squad arrives, but they struggle to defuse the bomb. It detonates, and nearby Karp and smugglers observe the explosion from a distance. Later, it is revealed that the smugglers are actually a renegade special forces unit, under the command of Benjamin Myers and his right-hand man, Karp. They have seized control of all the smuggling operations in the region, eliminating major drug kingpins Felix Nestor and Benito Ortiz. In the meeting with all agents, the FBI officer shares top-secret info from Quantico with the cops. Benjamin Myers is in charge of illegal activities in the area, and he's increasing them. Over 50,000 unauthorized people cross the border here each year, possibly carrying drugs. They want to use a bomb squad to check everyone coming through. Myers uses hard-to-detect C4 explosives, so to be cautious and watch for tricks. Myers was a soldier in Afghanistan, but now he's involved in illegal drugs with a sheik. It's a serious situation. They're unsure if they'll get new equipment or National Guard help. It's a big issue during an election year, and the cops are the ones dealing with it alone. Following the meeting, one of the apprehended smugglers takes Jack hostage, placing a gun to Billy's head. In a swift display of his combat skills, Jack disarms the smuggler, rescuing Billy. As they continue on their journey, they come across more smugglers. Billy abruptly swerves the car, surprising the smugglers. Jack, seizing the moment, jumps out of the vehicle and gives a chase. He manages to catch one of the fleeing smugglers. However, just as the other smuggler is about to open fire on him, He acts decisively, shooting and killing both smugglers to eliminate the threat. Following the incident, Ramona becomes angry with Jack once again. Not long after, a news reporter arrives along with the city's mayor. Karp, upon seeing the news coverage, discreetly relays the address of Jack's location to his accomplice at the bar. Later at night at the bar, Jed offers Jack an apology for their earlier altercation. Bartender Lexi takes Jack's order, and shares the story of how Jack took down the smugglers with the newsman. Lexi's happiness is short-lived, as Ramona arrives at the bar. The two share drinks, and as Ramona becomes increasingly intoxicated, Jack decides to escort her out of the bar. Meanwhile, Karp informs Myers about a shipment of 3 tons that he is about to deliver, and how they will transport it using carbon paper and a titanium airtight seal, making it nearly impossible for any cop to notice. While driving, Jack encounters a family on the roadside, triggering the same recurring dream of a girl laughing in a police station, where a cop spills coffee on Jack's civilian clothes. Later, Jack decides to change his clothes. Myers, Karp and their smugglers board a bus with the stuff. However, during a routine inspection, a police officer becomes suspicious of one of the smugglers, due to a tattoo on his hand. The officer promptly notifies the station. Upon hearing this, Karp instructs Myers to take action, who kills the bus driver, and disposes of his body outside the bus. The smugglers retrieve firearms and open fire. A fierce shootout ensues between the cops and the smugglers. Jack and Billy receive a radio message about the ongoing situation with the bus. They rush towards the scene, closing in on the smugglers. Just as they're closing in, Myers spots a police car ahead of the bus, and decides to make a hasty U-turn. Jack, positioned on a bridge, takes a shot at Myers' bus, but Myers manages to evade the gunfire. As the bus speeds away, it eventually crashes into a wall in the Las Palomas market. Jack and Billy are hot on their heels, joining the chaotic scene of a shootout. Jack decides to go after the smugglers inside the market. However, in a sudden turn of events, the Mexican police surprise Jack, apprehending him from behind. Meanwhile, Karp provides all the details he has gathered about Jack. Back to Jack and Billy, there is growing concern over their disappearance, and they seek assistance from an FBI officer. Elsewhere, Jack is locked up in a cell. Mexican agents arrive and provoke a fight between Jack and a fellow inmate. To everyone's astonishment, Jack swiftly defeats his opponent in a martial arts showdown. Back at the mayor's office, when the mayor inquires about Jack's whereabouts, Captain Ramona informs him that Jack is imprisoned in Palomas. However, within the confines of Palomas prison, Jack is ambushed by police officers, who attack him from behind. At a tribute program for those who lost their lives in the shootout with the smugglers, Captain Ramona receives a call from Billy, prompting her to urgently leave and take action. Back to Jack, the Palomas police officer has handed Jack over to Myers, who suspends Jack upside down above a pool of water electrified by wires, and interrogates him about his identity and affiliations. He suspects Jack may not merely be a border patrol agent, but could be a beat cop, FBI agent, or part of some special forces, given Jack's exceptional combat skills. However, Jack insists he is just a border patrol agent. Simultaneously, Billy apprehends Ramona. Shockingly, it is revealed that Billy is working for Myers. Myers places a gun on Ramona's head, threatening Jack. In a tense moment, Jack reveals who he truly works for. He has a deeply personal motive for pursuing Myers. The true reason behind his quest for vengeance is that Myers' drugs were responsible for the death of his daughter, Cassie, 3 months ago. Cassie was just 16 years old when she lost her life, and he is determined to exact revenge on Myers. Myers resorts to threatening Ramona's uncle, Emil, throwing him into the electrified pool of water with live wires. Billy takes Jack and Ramona to a room, but the two manage to free themselves, and eliminate Billy. Ramona urgently contacts the Mexican police for assistance, and she and Jack embark on a mission to eliminate Myers' men. However, during the pursuit, Ramona is knocked unconscious in a car crash. Jack faces off against Karp, a formidable martial arts expert. They engage in a brutal fight, and Jack eventually overpowers Karp, defeating him. Myers, abandoned by his potential investors, confronts Jack, and prepares to shoot him. In a desperate move, Jack hurls an explosive collar toward Myers. This collar is the same type that a woman had worn in Kabul, triggering a powerful explosion, and resulting in Myers' demise. Ramona apologizes to Jack, recognizing his dedication and sacrifice. The police officer of Palomas also arrives, and extends his apologies to Jack for the earlier misunderstanding. Jack apologizes to Ramona for Emil's tragic death. In response, Ramona confides that Emil was her uncle, and she had secured him the job, emphasizing he never wanted anyone to know about their family connection. She fondly recalls Emil always wearing a smile on his face. Jack nods in understanding, and the two head to his room. He realizes his rabbit is missing, and they start searching. He shares that the rabbit belonged to his daughter, and she locates the rabbit, and asks its name, Jack Jack. Jack explains his daughter found it amusing, and Ramona suggests it might be time for him to return to New Orleans and rebuild his life. He agrees, and she asks about his wife, to which he responds with a simple yes. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.